AI is currently the most powerful narrative in market. Startup attach AI to every pitch. Listed company add AI exposure to presentation. But as investors, we need to separate excitement from earnings because innovation alone does not create wealth. It is the revenue that creates. If companies talk about AI but their revenues and profits does not grow, valuation eventually becomes fragile. We have seen this pattern in many technological cycles before. Sustainable AI business usually have three things: clear revenue growth, improving margins, and customer who keep coming back. Without this, AI becomes a story, not a business. But the real question is, are we as a nation building a long-term AI ownership, or we are mainly building an infrastructure where global AI companies will operate? Because in every technological revolution there are two kind of participants: those who build capacity and one who owns the capability. One earns stable returns and other captures the exponential value. If you are an investor, that difference matter more than any headlines. So today let us step away from the noise and analyze this properly. Namaste friends, I'm Rohini and you're watching the knowledge series of fincash.com. Now let us separate this clearly. Data centers are expanding and computing power is growing. So when it comes to infrastructure, it usually includes your data center, cloud system, GPU computing power, energy needed to run the system. Infrastructure is capital intensive. It usually generates steady, execution driven returns. But historically, infrastructure does not capture the highest technological profits. Now let us look at the intellectual property. That includes foundational AI models, proprietary datasets, API-based AI platform, enterprise AI software with recurring revenue. This is where operating leverage appears. This is where margins can grow without the same level of capital investments. Now, many countries build technological infrastructure, but there are far fewer technological platforms that scale globally. Technological transition also do not turn into profits immediately. First comes investment, then integration, then productivity improvements. Only after that, profit starts accelerating. India is still early in this cycle, so expecting immediate earnings from AI companies would be quite unrealistic. We can say that this is a build phase, not yet a harvest phase. Understanding this sequence helps investor avoid overreacting, whether overly optimistic or overly pessimistic. India is currently strong in infrastructure expansion and enterprise AI integration. The open question is whether AI platforms built in India can scale globally. That difference will determine long-term wealth creation. India is no longer just consuming global AI tools. We are creating it. We are building it. For example, Sarvam AI is developing large language models optimized for Indian language. Krutim is building an Indian AI stack from foundational models to application. In healthcare, Cure.ai develops AI system for radiology diagnostic used in multiple markets. Companies like Yellow AI and Haptech are building enterprise automation platforms powered by AI. These are not just infrastructure projects, these are intellectual products, and this is a meaningful progress. So, if we look at India, it has three structural advantages. The first one is linguistic complexity. Companies like Sarvam AI have succeeded in building strong multilingual models. They are solving a problem most Western AI firms do not prioritize deeply. If successful, these models will not just serve India, they could become solution for multilingual markets across Asia and Africa. The second advantage is the real world use at a massive scale. India has sectors where even small improvements create a huge economic impact. For example, take agriculture. India's dairy product gives an very interesting example. Amul has explored AI-based monitoring system that can track cattle health cycles and detect heat patterns in cow roughly every 21 days. This matter because better detection improves breeding efficiency and milk productivity. When AI improves productivity even slightly across millions of animals, the economic impact becomes significant. Healthcare sectors offer similar opportunity. India produces large volumes of diagnostic data, that is X-ray, CT scan, pathological result. AI tools like those developed by Cure AI can help doctors detect diseases faster, reducing diagnostic workload and expanding access to healthcare in regions where specialists are very less. If such a system is adopted across hospital and diagnostic centers, then it could transform healthcare industry of India very efficiently at a national scale. Third is cost structure. Indian AI teams can build and experiment at a much lower cost compared to the teams in the US. This means that they can test ideas, improve products, and run longer innovation cycles with less capital. But a structure advantage only matters if it leads to real execution. Because innovation alone does not create long-term wealth. It is the ownership and monetization that does. So for an AI company to become economically strong, three things are very essential. First is it must build data advantage. For example, strong data sets in Indian language or healthcare data specific to Indian population. Second is it must create switching cost. If companies integrate an AI system deeply into their operations, replacing it becomes difficult. Third is it must generate revenue through subscription, license, or usage-based pricing. Without recurring revenue, AI remains just a feature, and with recurring revenue, AI becomes a platform. These are the filters that investors need to use seriously. You should not focus on if it is impressive. What you should think is if it is defensible and scalable. A thoughtful investor does not chase every AI headline. Instead, they observe which companies are building proprietary models, which companies are embedding AI deeply into enterprise workflows, which companies are reporting actual AI-driven revenue growth. Infrastructure exposure provides stability. Integration exposure provides incremental growth. Proprietary AI exposure provides potential upside, but higher risk. Balanced positioning matters more than the excitement. India is no longer absent from AI race. We are building language modules. We are building healthcare AI. We are building enterprise automation platform. Companies like Sarvam AI, Krutum, Cure AI, and others represent an early sign of intellectual ambition. But ambition must convert into durable economics. Because in the long run, data centers generate capacity, algorithms generate wealth, and the next decade of AI decides not by the one who builds the infrastructure, but by the one who builds most defensive intellectual property. At FinCash, we do not react to the noise. We analyze properly in depth. Because innovation attracts attention, but ownership builds value. The future of AI is promising, but the wealth belongs to the one who owns intelligence. It is your money. Invest by gauging the sector, the long-term potential, and if that sector, the company, has the potential to generate long-term wealth. See you in the next video. Until then, keep wealth creation as your priority goal and invest your money wisely.